Hi, I'm Nikeese. I Can Relate is a podcast for teens, about teens, and by teens. It's made possible by the generosity of Lisa McCares. Lisa McCares is a nonprofit coalition organization focused on promoting healthy behaviors and activities for youth and families. I Can Relate is produced by Fredcast. Think, Speak, Act.
Welcome back to I Can Relate, a podcast for teens, by teens, and about teens. I'm Ellie.
I'm Connor.
I'm Nikeese.
I'm Charlie.
And today we're going to be talking about college, but a little bit more about college. Most importantly, I think that I'm really excited for college. I graduate here in a couple months, and I'm really excited to go and experience everything that comes with college life. I'm excited to meet new friends, excited to have more freedom, and really just have time to find my individuality. But I'm also super worried about debt. And I think that I'm really worried about debt because I really haven't been prepared for it by anybody in my life. Like in school, my parents, anyone else like that. So, what do you guys think about debt?
Well, I think the school system has really failed us. I mean, we only have one class and it's personal finance, and it's only a semester long, so it's really just most people forget about it that I know. I mean, I don't even remember how to set up a credit card.
For example, I don't even know what that is.
Well, Nikeese, you go to private school now, so you probably won't have to take personal finance.
We're not doing background checks here, Ellie, all right?
So personal finance is required by the state, but it really doesn't talk about the things that we do need to know. Okay, yeah, you learn about renter's insurance, you talk about car insurance, but where's stuff about cell phones? You have to pay a cell phone bill, and we don't realistically talk about, you go to college, you have $100,000 in debt, and your first year out, you're going to make $40K, if that. So realistically, if you want to buy a car, how long are you going to have to save to be able to buy that car? And then how much are you going to be paying in debt after that? The reality of it is I say $100,000, but I don't even know how to calculate how much I'm spending on college. And I'm a 4.0. I've taken all my math classes. I'd consider myself a really dedicated student, and I don't know how to calculate how much debt I'll actually have.
I took personal finance earlier this year in my first semester, and sadly, it wasn't much of a personal finance class. It very much seemed like the teacher was running on a clock. I happen to know the teacher personally. She was the mother of a close friend of mine, is the mother of a close friend of mine. And we opened the class the first day of the year, walked in, and she says, I'm just going to get through the semester as quickly as possible. We don't have much time anyway. This should be a year-long class, but it's not.
So she knows that this should be absolutely a year-long class.
That's the census of teachers at my school as well.
Well, also
the census?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The census is the overall
anyway, all right.
Census.
Boyfriend.
Census is how the government figures out how many
Shut up,
people
Charlie.
live here.
Sorry, Charlie. Consensus.
Well, I mean,
Consent.
also with it being only a semester long, I took it online last semester, and it's just busy work. It's just a breeze. You just do it and you're done with it. I know so many people who just copied, answered, or cheated. And then, even in the summer, I know people who took it over the summer and don't even recall what they even did. They just got it to get the A. And
yeah.
It's the most important thing coming out of college. Because at the end of the day, your whole life will be finances, taxes, your income, how to calculate that, how to budget. Sure, I want to be an engineer, so I'm going to need to know math, but, Ellie wants to be a journalist. She's barely going to use math in her life, but we barely go over finances and how to properly...
I'm planning on being a screenwriter, and I nearly fail every math class I take. So I'm probably not going to do so hot there.
Is screenwriting required to do math? I don't know what that is.
No, it's just, you write scripts for movies or TV shows.
Just making sure.
Private school Nikeese, no.
I've heard, listen.
Child Nikeese.
Yeah, Nikeese is a freshman.
At least, all right, hold on. at least out of everyone's goddamn building, I'm gonna be the last one to die, supposedly.
Okay, off of the dark track, back to what Connor said. Connor, you said something about how personal finance felt like busy work, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the problem with it because personal finance feels like a chore, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, personal finance
It feels like a way of getting rid of a credit, not a class you need.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I took a learning lab and just get my personal finance done so I could do other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, our school district requires that we also, like, take foundations of fitness, like PE credits, right? And we also have to take, like, either choir or art, right? And then we also have to take personal finance. And I feel like all of those just feel like steps to get to the classes that we actually want to take. And it portrays personal finance in such a negative light that students are like, why would I care about this? This is just taking up my time.
Yeah. Jigs.
And then also, like, there's like Quizlets for everything. So why would you pay attention? Why would you spend your time? And I think that's the issue, that this class does not translate well as an online class.
I also think it being a semester, like the workload is so much more instead of it being spread out. And like there's just not enough teaching with it. It's more of just like, oh, learn this. Then a week later, learn this, then learn this, then learn this.
Would you say that people are like saying personal finance, like it's something we could like learn online, like what everyone else is saying about
We
school?
do have, so you can opt to take it online or you can take it in person, but both are a semester long.
Yeah.
Would you rather it be, because personally, if I'm learning about money and how to save and whatnot, I'd much rather it be in person
Oh, I agree. I
than
agree.
online. 'cause
Yet, I
in
think all
general-
three of us in this room took it online.
In general, online school is a travesty. So
I mean,
Well,
Connor, why'd you take it online?
it's just more convenient. Like
Charlie,
I took it in person.
you took it in person. Why'd you opt to take it in person?
Because when I took all of my school online in 8th grade, that was the lowest point of my life,
During
and I
COVID?
wasn't gonna deal with that again.
Yeah. I took it online because I had 7 other hours that I felt like were more important for me to be in school. Like I was in the orchestra for a little bit. And so that hour I needed to be in school. English was really important to me. So I had 2 hours that I needed to be in school. And then my other core credits and then other requirements that I have to take that were just more fun than personal finance. I was like, oh, I'll just take personal finance online. I'll do the Quizlets. I'll just get it over with because I have to take it to graduate. And I didn't realize that there's a little bit more to it than just you have to do it to graduate.
I feel when people hear stuff about personal finance or any like subject in school for that matter, they think of it as, oh, I'm just gonna do all this and then I can have my free time. They don't think ahead on, oh, I'm gonna need this, might as well listen. And it would be possible that schools and teachers, because is personal finance required by state?
Yeah, state
It is.
required.
So could be possible that schools and teachers are thinking of it the way students think about normal subjects, and they're just trying to get out of the way so they can teach about the regular classes.
I think it's a fair argument to say that there are certain teachers at my school that do treat it like that and don't give it the time of day it deserves. There are other teachers, though, that recognize the value that personal finance has. But the consensus seems to be that teaching personal finance isn't very beneficial at this age just because it's your first introduction. You're not going to remember everything. So why would they go in depth? Why would they spend time on making sure you understand how a credit card works, how a credit card can lead to debt, and things like that? Instead, they just barely touch the surface. We graduate. We get to the point in the lives where we have to buy a car, we have to rent an apartment, and we'll figure it out on our own.
No, yeah.
That's what I've been told by teachers.
I completely agree because, I mean, at the end of the day, like, there's so many people who just get in debt because they just think a credit card they can just swipe, and it's just money. Like they just given money.
Taught
That's
properly.
by design.
And yeah, because they
They viciously target 18-year-olds who don't
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
and just like, I mean, I just feel like it should almost be taught like when you're a freshman throughout.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
I mean, even if the class was a semester long, but it focused on certain points.
Or like you have to take it like yearly, like
Even
yearly.
a year. I mean, even a even a year long class your junior and senior year, because that's when it affects you. Because Ellie took it her junior year and she doesn't like remember anything.
Oh, I don't remember
And this is when
anything.
she needs to start the process.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thankfully took it last semester, so I still remember like some things. But I mean, some of it was just brushed over, and some stuff like you won't ever need to use in your life. And
Yeah, we waste a lot of time learning about like renter's insurance specifically. Okay, so renting an apartment, there's not everybody is going to do that. Yes, everybody will probably buy a car. Yes, everybody will have a cell phone. Yes, everybody will need to build a budget. But there are very niche things that we get into, like scholarships. We have to research scholarships, but it's not scholarships that pertain to us. It's generalized scholarships that could be about specific minorities that you might not be, or about specific majors that you might not go into. So it is somewhat of a waste of time in certain aspects, and that's concerning since we only spend, 15 weeks, I think, in total on this during a semester.
So would you, because when can you take for personal finance?
You have to be a junior or a senior.
Have to be junior or senior. Okay. So would you say it's be best? Because if you're applying for personal finance, does it have to be like during the first semester, or can it just be, it just has to be for a semester?
It's a semester, yeah.
A
So you can
semester.
take it first or second of either year.
Okay.
I think mostly though, like it is good that like juniors are getting like the ability to take that class junior year, but
I'd
we're not
say-
at all prepped for
Yeah.
like you should pay attention to this. Like they don't tell us that. They're just like, we just got to get through it. Like
I'd
bear with
say
me.
it'd be just a senior class at the more towards the end of the year.
What about students who graduate a year early?
That's an issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
That's
a
fair.
lot of, it's hard to regulate.
Yeah,
It's hard to
'cause
regulate
our-
classes. And I think I'm very glad that like you have to be a junior or a senior to take it, because I don't really know many sophomores that would be ready to talk about like credit cards and things
Yeah.
like that. Some of them are 14.
well, I mean, in reality, I think they should just stress it more to take it your senior year, or stress it more when you're a junior to like focus and
Yeah. So
understand that you need these.
And
Yeah.
that comes back to, it feels like a chore. It's portrayed in a
but,
positive light.
yeah, it feels
or a
like a
negative
chore.
light.
Mm-hmm.
But if you stress it, there's at least a few people that will take it in as it's supposed to be.
I did have a really interesting conversation the other day with a teacher, and she said, I honestly think every student should take a business class. Not just like intro to business, not personal finance, but like business marketing or like business management or something like that. Because all of life really is business. Like you get a job, right? That's kind of business.
Well,
You like have to pay bills. That's business. So I really thought what she said was very interesting in that aspect.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know from Ellie's numerous comments, I go to a Catholic private school now.
Nikeese, you go to private school?
I know, right? It's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. I never knew that.
I know,
about you.
right? It's crazy. how
It's
to
like
think about
you
that.
never mentioned it.
We did just find out today. We did just find out.
By
I've known
Ellie.
it this whole time.
Oh.
Yeah, me
Okay,
too,
Nikeese,
and I
what's your
just
point
found
about
out.
Catholic
Anyway.
school?
So while I was at Lisa North, I took a amped on business class, which is about like selling products and whatnot. So people count as intro to business. I'm not sure. I didn't take intro to business, so I wouldn't know the difference. But at SMA, there's no like business classes. The closest thing we have to a business class is my theology teacher trying to get a.
I've heard about theology.
You've heard about theology.
I've heard about
All
theology.
right, be quiet. Let me finish. Is my theology teacher? Wow, theology teacher trying to get a woodshop class incorporated into the schooling system at SMA. That's the closest thing I would have there to a business class.
Well,
Interesting.
like something I've seen online is somebody even said they think everybody should get a business degree or a finance degree because, like Ellie said, that's your life eventually. Like, I mean, you're gonna do that every day, and I mean, taking one in high school. Well, I took accounting one. I don't even remember it. I mean, it taught me a lot as a sophomore, but I mean, I don't even recall anything. Like, I don't recall any of the spreadsheet hacks or cheats, which I'm gonna need when I'm older because it's really helpful. But
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I took it to see if I wanted to do accounting or whatever. But I mean, I took a business class in 7th or 8th grade, and I thought it was really helpful, and it like opened your mind to even creativity, which I think a lot more people lack, and they just don't really like teach that anymore.
Yeah, kind of like on the like topic of creativity. I think like in general from high school, we don't learn any kind of like basic skills. Like I'm talking like people skills, like interview skills. Nikeese, if you were to interview for a job right now, would you feel like you've been prepared super well for that?
I'd wreck that. Let's be honest. I'm
Yeah,
just me.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
great.
Like,
But Charlie, on the other hand, let's
Listen,
say Charlie.
I have never been taught interview skills, but
Let's
I'm
put
going to go in there
Charlie
and damn
in
well try.
yeah.
Let's put Charlie in a
I'm
random
going to be the
like.
friendliest I've ever been, all right? It doesn't
Which is
matter if
normally
I've been
very
trained.
hostile.
I'm going to go in there and say, hey, how you doing? I'm Charlie Parker.
But more so like in school, like what do we learn? We learn science, we learn math, we learn history, we learn English, right? But
And then whatever electives are.
yeah, whatever
thrown in there.
electives we want to learn, but we're not really taught people skills. And I think online classes are really enabling us from learning that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because even just going to school and like having to work with your teacher who's like a manager or like a supervisor, right? Or having to work with your administration, which is, you know, similar. And then working with like your coworkers, right? Your classmates.
Mm-hmm.
You miss out on that when you take stuff online. And I think that that's kind of not really a great thing.
Well, I mean, my brother took online school for 2 more years after COVID because he just like didn't feel the need that it was even worth the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just feel like it's like she said, like it's so important. I mean, there's no like, I mean, even lunch really. I mean, last semester I didn't even go to lunch because I just didn't feel like it was worth it because I mean I needed to do my schoolwork. But like,
You have so many like better things you could do.
yeah,
other
I mean,
than
then
the
like
shitty
talk to
school lunch.
people and yeah. And it's just like if I didn't play baseball, I would barely know anybody at my school. I would just know my close friends. But like,
Yeah.
just because you have a class with them, and then, I mean, there's so many people who are so quiet and don't say anything, and we just
Do you guys think school is slamming us with busy work?
Dude.
No.
Well, define busy work.
Things we won't need post graduation.
Yeah, quite often. I'm in an aviations class, and it's cool at like the surface, right? But not for me. But the teacher, she keeps giving us worksheets and worksheets and worksheets basically daily. And there's like 4, like one time we had like 4 worksheets and one was a packet.
Mm-hmm.
Just like got that like for 2 days.
Yeah.
And so luckily I'm transferring out of that class. I hated that class. Talked to my counselor today, and we're gonna get that transferred, because for something like aviation and like wood shop, it sounds like something fun. It's something that's gonna get a student's attention, other than something that they'll need, like a business class or a finance class. I forgot its name for a second. So I think that schools have like too many
priorities.
Yeah, too many
They
priorities.
don't have their priorities straight because
Yeah.
there's too many priorities.
I will have to say, I agree they give you everybody too much coursework, but I will have to say, being a well-rounded student in your knowledge, I think is really important. Because
But can you
totally.
teach well-roundedness?
But- and my thing is, what I mean by that is I know a lot of people who think we shouldn't take a math class for your entire years of high school. And sure, you're not going to use Algebra 2 or pre-calc unless you're going to a STEM field. But
Yeah. Or a teacher.
I mean, just understanding like concepts and just growing your knowledge will just improve your intelligence overall. And I mean, I think it should be more adaptable for students, because also like students who struggle and they retake a class or
Yeah.
they go into like the below categories are looked down upon, like they're stupider or they're not as intelligent, which I think is like a real problem. Or even if they're just like taught not hard work, I guess, at home or even in school, we're really not taught to be hard work. Like me personally, like with schoolwork, like it's always been my own thing to do it. Like I've always wanted
your
to
own
do it.
motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's my own motivation. I've never had motivation from a teacher. I've never had a teacher like, okay, in elementary school, I hated homework. I never did it. I didn't see a point of it.
Same.
And I've never had a teacher be like, you have to do it. You just get punished for it, or like no motivation positively. It's all negative.
Yeah, you always
I
get
would
like,
They
I mean,
tell
like
us
kind
we
of
ought
like
to do it,
detention.
Never
but-
tell us why.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and there's no positive aspect at all. Like,
Why are we learning about Henry VIII and like killing his wives? But what's important about that? They don't talk about why like things are like specific things are important. Like why we need to know about like I don't like tangents and like
Like, in elementary school.
Those are really important.
In elementary
yeah, but they don't tell us why certain things are important. They
I
don't
will
teach
agree
us.
with you.
They don't teach us the bridges that connect different intellectual aspects together. Instead, they just throw at us a bunch of random different topics in 8 hours of the day for 4 years and expect us to remember all of it.
Yeah.
Get out of high school, be able to be completely independent, be able to be confident, be able to get a job, pay for your debt, buy a car, and do all this stuff. And honestly, I think the problem is they're cramming too much into 4 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I feel like the stress of having a high GPA, weighted 4.4, like so you can get college. Because I took a step back this year for English because I wanted to do engineering. So I took more science and math-based classes because I felt that was more necessary for like my knowledge. I also took an engineering class at Summit Technology Academy. And I think it's just not stressed enough to where, I mean, I know people who don't need math. You don't need math. You didn't take a math class this year. You're going to have to in college. I know people who really don't need a science class. And I just wish freshman to junior year, there's more adaptivity in taking classes. And, like, if you take an easier science class, it's not going to affect you in the long run. Because I feel like that's a big issue, like, with the cramming. Because everybody has to take IB, AP, all these hard classes and all these different subjects that they may not be good at or they may not even need when they're older.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that comes back to they expect too much.
Yeah.
I mean, Nikeese, how old are you?
I am 14.
Charlie?
16.
Connor?
18.
And I'm 18. Like, we don't have it all figured out. Like, we don't have the ability. Our brains, what is it, 25, Charlie? They're not fully developed until about 25, I think is
Some
what it
say
is.
25, yeah.
Yeah. How are we expected to be able to know how to financially support ourselves and be completely independent if they're not teaching those things in school and are rather distracting us with a bunch of extra information that we're never going to remember?
I mean, like you say, school's a full-time job. And, I mean, work is whatever, but, like...
Students work more than 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
That is fact.
People just treat school as just, oh, it's school.
It's just school. It doesn't count as work. But we are being pushed in 40-minute block periods.
Yeah.
Nikeese, you're a little bit different at a private school.
I'm now 55.
Yeah.
I think.
But we're being taught 40 to 50 an hour-long minute sessions. You come into class, you sit down, you have to work, and then you get 5-minute passing periods or whatever it may be, right? And then you go to the next one, you do it again, you do it 7 times a day, and then you go to work after, or you go to sports. And all that takes your mental capacity, takes your physical capacity, takes your emotional capacity, and we're expected to be able to do it all, not take a day off, and come out with a 4.0 GPA, go to a great college, not be in a bunch of debt, apply for all these scholarships, have a family, get a house, and do it all in 30 years of our lifespan.
While I was at North, I was on the soccer team. I made it. I didn't tell any of y'all that. Wow, it's gone for a while.
job, Nikeese.
Jeez, thank you. We had the best record, and we were on C team. It's crazy. I was on the soccer team, right? Right after school, right after I was there for 7 hours, you go to coach's room, you grab your bag, locker room, change, field. So during that time, before I was on the team, and now, I don't have school soccer anymore. I have club soccer. And so school ends, I go home, and I rest for a bit. And so where I'm going with this is during school and having something right after that, like physically draining, after you're doing something that's mentally draining, I feel that I did better in school soccer because it was right after, like, I was using my mind and whatnot. I got to use my body and take a break from it all. But at home, when I get to rest, I feel I get, like, too distracted or too, like, I guess, lazy.
You have time to, like, relax,
Yeah.
and, like, your body is not
And
working
then,
at
then
a
you have
fast.
to go, and, like...
Yeah, you have to, like, put it back, oh my gosh, put it all back up just to do another thing. And even when you get home from soccer or get home from school, you're doing homework and then going to practice.
Shower, eat, sleep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I remember that time.
Some nights I don't even get home till like 9 or 9:30.
Yeah. What
Dang.
time do all of your guys' parents get off of work?
My mom gets off work between 4 and 5.
Yeah, 4 and
that's what
5.
Yeah.
My mom works in the independent school district, which because they switched to a 4-day work week, she is now at work until closer to 5
Kind
or
of jealous
6.
of the 4-day.
It's terrible for the teachers.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
It's
bad for
only
them.
good for high school and middle school,
Yeah, I bet.
not elementary school.
They do it at the elementary schools.
Yes,
I don't think that's right.
district wide.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, on that, I mean, Nikeese,
Hi.
you're not getting back. Hi, you're not getting home until like you said, like 8 or 9 at night. And I remember when I used to play competitive softball, I wasn't getting home till 10 sometimes.
Well,
That's crazy. And then Connor, what time do you wake up for baseball in the morning?
4:45.
I'd actually much rather have sports in the morning.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, 'cause I
Until
like it a lot
it's-
more.
It's
It,
too
like-
early
Mhm.
and you're sleep deprived.
Or what
because-
if you want to go to a basketball game? Those start at 7, get over at 9, you get home, go to bed. Connor sleeps 6 hours.
Yeah.
You can't sleep 6 hours 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
Well, and also like, the fact of we also have 2 hours worth of homework.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Homework until you pass out, until you're dead? Like that's what I did.
One
last
time
what I
I
do.
was at my desk doing homework, and I literally took literally just 5 minutes just to get on my PC, play a game that I won, because I just finished a heavy assignment and I still had like two more things. I just want to take a break real fast. Then my mom saw me. She's like, go back to doing homework, whatnot. So it's just like pushed constantly to,
Be perfect at everything.
yeah, when you can't be perfect.
I mean, I've had times where I've been in bed doing my homework and I just pass out.
There's
while I'm
been
doing
times
homework.
where I have to debate what's more important, getting my homework done for tomorrow
Or getting sleep.
or sleeping.
Dude, oh my god. Every time. A few days ago, I finished. Oh, hi, Demary Card. How you doing? Sorry. I finished some homework. Right. I had to go to soccer too. I didn't even finish homework. It was math. Hate math. I had to go to soccer. Stayed there. Did all my work. Did practices, whatnot. Got home at around 9:30. I ate dinner. Gas dinner. Dude, my mom's the best cook. Y'all cannot beat me on that. And then I literally sat on my bed for about 25 minutes debating if I was going to either finish my math and aviation homework or if I was going to go to bed. So I ended up staying up till, I think, maybe 11:30, finishing aviation homework. And a lot of this I had to look up because aviation, it's not my thing. So a few
Yeah.
things go by my head.
How could it be your thing?
And then I have math seminar. I literally had to prioritize classes over each other based on a time limit than just being able to knock it out.
Yeah.
Well, also, the fact that Misha requires that you have to take at least 6 hours is, I mean, terrible.
Insane.
To be an athlete.
Insane.
Yeah.
Because my brother, he went to play for school basketball, and he could easily make varsity at the private school. But Misha says he can only go up to JV because he hasn't put in, I think, 2 weeks of playing on that team.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
that stuff.
Overall, I think there's a lot of strict requirements as high schoolers. And even those requirements aren't meeting what we need, like personal finance. Like, we're not getting what we need, but they're still requiring it, and that's appearing as a chore,
Yeah.
right?
So, as a freshman in high school, yes, I know. I'm a freshman. Yeah, okay. Since personal finance, not the greatest, tips on finance, because I don't know how to work money. And
I will just say one big thing with the school system is it's just the lack of education on real world
The
situations.
educators, the
The
educators
educators-
are not educated on what our lifestyles look like now in 2024. All of these people who are putting in these standards, these state requirements, the boards, the administrators, they all graduated 20 plus years ago. that's why they're trying to create change with making, student representatives and student senate, and students are starting to speak out and they're being encouraged to speak out. While we're given these platforms, we need to use them to make a change. We need to tell them exactly what we're feeling stressed out about. And that's that we're not learning the skills that we need to be learning. We're getting stressed out about not learning those skills. And we're not sleeping because we're doing homework until 11 at night, because we didn't get home until 10, because we have sports, because we want to be perfect, because all they expect is nothing less than perfect.
And bring evidence and not just complain. And we have evidence and we have stuff to back it up.
Yeah.
And we just need to be heard. And like Ellie said, use our platform.
And people need to start paying attention instead of waving us off like they have always done with teenagers. We know what we're talking about. We know what we believe. We have been waved off continually for years with people saying, oh, they're just kids ranting about nothing. No, we're ranting about something. And we're not just kids. We're people with something to say.
And we're the next generation.
Exactly.
Just because we don't have a college education doesn't mean we're not as smart as you.
Yeah.
Good point.
I'm the one that decides if you live with me when you turn 90 or if you go to a nursing home.
Oh my
Lock it
gosh. Okay. Well, Charlie,
Why am I doing the outro?
why not?
Okay.
This has been I Can Relate. I thank you all for watching. I have been Charlie.
Listening,
Thank you all for listening. I have been Charlie.
Ellie.
Connor.
Nikeese.
Thank you all, and have a great night.
Listen next time.
Oh yeah, listen next time as well if you want to.
Or watch.